What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here. We have a couple of new figures to review, all of which are brand new. There are two other ones off screen that I will use to compare some of these, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, before we get started, I am both a Ninja Turtle fan, as well as a Cobra Kai fan, or Karate Kid, or whatever. I watched all four of the original Karate Kid films when I was a kid, and the first two were my personal favorites. The third one wasn't bad. The fourth one was nah, and then the Netflix Cobra Kai show I absolutely enjoy because it feels fresh. It doesn't feel cheapened at all. It is. To me, it's not bad at all. It's actually really, really good. So if you haven't watched it, there's like 3 seasons of it now, with a 4th one coming out like either late this year or early next year or something like that. And it is a continuation of the original movies with all the same actors, so that's always fun. But never did it occur to me that they would cross over the Ninja Turtles with Cobra Kai. So we have Michelangelo and Danny LaRusso. And these are interesting figures, I'm not going to lie. Michelangelo seems a little big, but, that's not too big of an issue, when you're a big turtle. Almost every part of him is posable. Let's see, his shoulder joints up here, obviously move. His arms have 3-way posability for his elbows. All 6 of his fingers are posable. His legs have really nice posability, and even his toes. So that's something I've never really seen with a Ninja Turtles figure before. Aside from the 2003's, I don't know, it's like super elite version of the Ninja Turtles, or super elite figures, that they have their fingers and toes and stuff able to move so they can hold a variety of weapons. He comes with this really nice, I can't remember what the name of it's called. I know it's got an actual name, but I can't think of the name off of the top of my head. Karate gi. It's a karate gi. So it's not too bad. It's all actual cloth, which I always like it when they put cloth on these things. He's got a black belt, which I honestly don't think Michelangelo would ever have a black belt, but that's just me. He's got black knee pads, black elbow pads, and then he's got the orange wrist pads, or wrist guards, or whatever you want to call those. Black nunchucks with actual metal chains. That's actually kind of dope. His bandana's a little weird, but I think that's just because of the way it was packaged. I think it's actually supposed to be, out like a traditional Ninja Turtle, but it's otherwise not too bad. The color's not bad, so enough of him. Now, LaRusso, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this guy's name. Ralph Macchio, I can't pronounce his name at all. This is a really good representation of him. The figure looks exactly like him. I'm just going to call him Ralph. The figure looks exactly like Ralph. LaRusso has some pretty decent posability. You've got the arm, the wrist, his other arm. His gi is actually made of rubber, which I think is kind of funny because, I'm surprised that they didn't go full cloth with this, but it's all rubber. I thought it was going to be like a plasticky type material, but the whole thing is rubber. The only thing that's not rubber on his top is his belt. It's like a hard plastic type thing. He has no foot studs, so if you wanted to have him stand up, you have to try to balance it. And it may just be the one that I got, but for some reason he cannot stand up that well. It takes a few little angles to get him to stand up. He's got some pretty decent, upper body movements. His legs have a little bit less movement than Michelangelo. His toes also do move as well. So if you wanted to put him in the, famous Karate Kid pose, you are certainly able to do so as long as you have either drill a hole in his foot, which is just painful, or put him in a specific fun little NECA stand. So, and then he has really nice detail work over on his headband, as well as his the back of his gi. Looks really nice as well. So honestly, these two came in a pack, obviously, and I found out that there are all 4 of them, and they fight all 4 of Cobra Kai's main characters. So that's actually kind of cool. At some point, I hope to collect them all, and obviously I'll do videos reviewing those in the future. So I would give these figures definitely, I'll say a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I don't go 10 out of 10 is because I would have rather had LaRusso have a cloth gi to match Michelangelo. But honestly, the rubber isn't bad. But it will eventually, get black and everything else because, fingerprints and whatnot. So whenever if I use Danny for videos, I'm going to have to clean his suit every time because it's just going to get covered in crap. Michelangelo, I think this is able to come off, but I'm not going to take it off because, it's just, makes sense to not. But honestly, I realistically, I'll give these figures a 10 out of 10. The molds are good. The face detail on LaRusso is really good. He looks like Ralph. Posability is outstanding. The only thing I would say is I would have the leg joints just a little bit stiffer. Now, it may just be the one that I got, but all in all, these are not bad figures by any stretch of the word. So, without further ado, let's go on to the next characters. Alright, we have Ash Williams, before he got the awesome chainsaw from Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. Comes with a variety of weapons and severed hands and whatnot. He's got the tape recorder that he listened to, the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon's right there. It's got a second arm with his possessed hand. It's got the severed hand from when he chops it off with the chainsaw. And then he's got a regular hand so he can hold stuff with this hand. You can switch out the hands there. Then he's got the axe that he used to chop up one of the Deadites. It's got green goo on it instead of red blood. Then it has Deadite Ash, which is a nice touch. And then it's got his severed girlfriend's head. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But all in all, really nice design. I really like the designs for these two heads. As well as the design for Ash's severed hand. I really like that. It's a nice touch. And then the tape recorder looks really good too. So that we're not focused on the actual... Oh, and the box art is really nice. I love the skull. And the box art on the back. It's a real nice touch. Because you can't really see it, but you got his possessed hand, and then you got him looking in the mirror, which was a fun scene. Then you have him looking at his girlfriend, and then you have him as a Deadite himself, and then he's got a really nice posable shotgun feature. Then you got the lovely little pamphlet over here as well. So really nice box work. As always, NECA knows what they're doing. So, real quick, I'm going to put two Ashes side by side. Now both of these Ashes are from the same film, so it's funny how drastically different they are, while also obviously being the same. They both look amazing. This one has a really nice mold overall for the tattered shirt, the wrinkles all over it here. The chainsaw looks really nice. The shotgun looks really nice. The pants I think both of their pants are actually the same. But this Ash is more calm and collected and trying to process everything that's happening to him. While this one's like, I'm going to kill you. I don't care what you say. Just don't mess with me because you will lose your head. And that makes sense because, obviously if you have what happens to Ash happen to Ash, or if obviously what happens to Ash happens to anybody, you go a little insane. And this face perfectly shows that because he's like, oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I just cut off my hand with a chainsaw and everything. While this face is more, oh, I'm determined and everything else. The shotgun is kind of funny because The original, well, I'm just going to call this one the original, is more gunked up and gross and grimy and whatnot. While this one's all nice and clean, nice and polished and everything else. Well, this one's all covered in crap. And which I think is kind of funny. And then he obviously he cuts off half the barrel, so that or I'm not a gun person, so I don't. The metal parts, he cuts off the tubes, and shortens it down to a sawed-off shotgun. But all in all, not too bad. So, and then obviously the backs, are fairly basic. So we'll get Chainsaw Ash out of here. So now off to Handless Ash, which I'm just going to call this one. Not bad detail work at all. I love the little green goo and stuff that they added to the clothes, because there's one scene in the movie where he just, a geyser of crap just shoots all over Ash and sprays him with all this disgustingness and whatnot. The toweled hand looks really good. Nice blood work on his clothes. He's got some cleanness under his arms, which is obviously where you would be the most clean if you have your arms down. And then he's got a little quick clean spot on his bottom forearm. And, some more drier spots around his torso. Now that's actually a really nice attention to detail, because when you think about it, when you get wet, or if you get soaked and your arms are down, typically what's underneath your arms are going to be the most dry. So that part makes sense. His face has really nice, fading on the blood, nice clean hair, and then obviously in the next figure he's all wild and shaggy and whatnot. Pretty decent print work on his hand. And then, like I said, the shotgun's not bad. So I'd give this figure about a 8 out of 10. If I had to complain about anything, I'd say the box should have come with the chainsaw, just in case if you wanted to have a clean Ash. Well, then I say clean, but as in like no ripped up shirts or anything like that. Just fully clothed and intact Ash Williams. But again, that's just me. So other than that, 10 out of 10. Alright, time for the figure that I'm most excited for. We've got Michael Myers from Halloween Kills, the 2021, not really blockbuster hit like it was basically marketed as, but I think it was done that way on purpose to set up for the really big Halloween ends. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I liked Halloween Kills. I know there's a few, it's got mixed reviews and whatnot. Some people hate it, some people like it. I personally didn't mind it. I thought it was really fun. And as always, these horror movie characters that NECA does is really good at gathering detail at a small scale. We'll get into the detail on that, but first let's check out the box. It's got a really nice shot of Michael's mask, all burnt from the fire, and then he's got a nice creepy image of Michael standing there in the shadows. And then you have the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch mask. And then you've got a different version of Michael that doesn't have the human dead eye in his mask. A baseball bat. 2 other bandaged hands. 2 butcher knives, one of which he's holding, which is not covered in blood. The other one is covered in blood. The fluorescent light tube that he smashes into somebody's throat. And then the fireman poker thing that he used at the opening scene. And then the box work on the back looks really nice. I got the baseball bat. It's kind of hard to see. You got the baseball bat, the fire poker thing. You're able to have him hold the Halloween 3 mask, the bloody knife, and then the other stuff there. And really nice detail work all around. So, okay. Now on to the actual figure in terms of detail. Now, I'm going to do the same thing I did with Ash Williams. I'm going to put the new one here and then have its predecessor on the other side. So, Halloween 2018, Halloween 2021. It's amazing on how simple it is, but at the same time, it's like, what in the hell? I knew my phone stand was breaking, so Speaking of which, if by some chance the Day the World Ended series has slanted a little bit, for some reason my stupid phone stand is breaking. So I need to replace that as soon as possible. But for now, I'm just gonna hold it up and keep it from falling forward. So anyway, but I liked the mask that they. God damn it! I liked the mask that they used in the 2018's film. It's kind of like a grimy, old-looking type of thing. His jumpsuit was all basic because he had just stole it from a mechanic and whatnot. So, and then obviously his hands were all messed up. But the new one, and it's because of the fire incident, it's got a nice charred finish along the arm and sleeve, as well as a whole bunch of blood and grease, I'm sure, all over his torso and his right arm. And then the mask itself, and if I can try to do this one-handed, has really nice detail to it as well. Looks similar to what it did in the movie. Not exactly, but I mean, there's only so much you can do with 7-inch scale. And then it's got really nice age and burns on cuts and whatnot on the other side of his face. If you look really closely, you can kind of see he's got one white dead eye, and then the other eye. It's kind of hard to see because of the camera, but it is there and it is human. So it's kind of always wondered to see what he looked like unmasked. I'm sure Halloween Ends will, have that actually happen, but who knows. So this is really hard to do one-handed. So just like the Ash Williams and all the other characters, this has really, really nice detail work done to it. The bandaged hand, looks really messed up, and all the accessories that this version of Michael Myers comes with, it really not helps sell the movie, but it helps for me make it even more fun than it was, because I had fun watching Halloween Kills. I know there's a lot of people who said it was boring. Some people said it was, the plot device did make sense, or they brought all these characters back just to kill them all off. I can kind of understand that, but I just had fun watching the movie. I can't hate a movie for no reason. So if I don't like a movie, it's because there's a really good reason to it. So all in all, I would give Michael Myers this version of Michael Myers solid 9.5. And the reason why I don't give it a 10 is because I think they could have done more with it, because there are a bunch of kills in Halloween Kills, and I think they could have done more with it. But honestly, the weapons and stuff that they gave him, they're not bad. And the detail work on all of it's really nice. The overall mold and everything that they used for it is all good. And I cannot wait to see Halloween Ends, and see if they do another Michael Myers for that. So anyway, that's basically it for this video. I will try to get more of the Day the World Ended series done. I'm hoping to have it done by Tuesday of next week. So stay tuned for that if you guys are enjoying this series. I promise you it's going to make a little bit more sense. I know part 3 was a little confusing with the whole Optimus scene, but that was all a dream sequence, so I'll explain that later on. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.